There are times in life when everything seems silent, no answers, no signs, just long days filled with effort and nights filled with questions. But silence is not absence. Stillness is not punishment. Sometimes the silence is sacred. It is preparation. You are not being overlooked. You are being aligned. What looks like delay is often design. You are not stuck. You are being rooted. Like a seed that is buried, unseen, in complete darkness, it may appear lifeless, but something powerful is unfolding. The breaking is not your end. It is the beginning of growth. When life removes certain people or opportunities from your path, it is not rejection, it is redirection. You are being cleared of the unnecessary so that you can receive what you were truly made for. And the bigger the blessing, the deeper the preparation must be. A blessing that arrives too early can become a burden. That is why life is setting you up quietly, patiently, not just to get the blessing, but to hold it with strength and humility. You are being shaped into the kind of person who doesn't just receive abundance, but honors it. The discomfort, the uncertainty, even the heartbreak, all of it is part of the design. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. Like a bow that is pulled back before release, you may feel the tension. But that tension is what gives you the power to soar. Stay grounded, trust the process, because what's coming is not small, it's not random, it is intentional, and you are being made ready from the inside out. There are moments in life when you look around and see no movement, no answers, no confirmation. The prayers feel unanswered, the signs seem missing. The silence becomes loud. But silence does not mean you've been abandoned. Silence is often the highest form of attention. In the stillness, something sacred is happening. When nothing seems to be working outside, everything might be shifting inside. Life, in its deepest wisdom, knows that certain blessings are too powerful to be rushed. They require preparation not only around you, but within you. The silence you're experiencing is not a void. It is a sacred space for transformation. Imagine the bamboo tree. For years, nothing appears above the ground. But under the surface, it is developing a vast network of roots. Only once that foundation is secure does it begin to shoot upward, rising rapidly and powerfully. Would you call those years wasted? Or would you recognize them as necessary? So too is your preparation. When life holds you back, slows you down, or delays your plans, it is not punishing you, it is deepening you. It is creating the strength you will need not only to reach the next level, but to remain there with dignity and peace. Most people grow impatient in the silence. They mistake stillness for stagnation and quiet for punishment. But those who understand the nature of true blessings, they stay, they breathe, they allow. And in doing so, they begin to hear what the noise had hidden, the quiet instructions of growth. You are being carved from the inside. The doubts, the fears, the habits that no longer serve you, they are being surfaced not to shame you, but to release you. Because what you've been asking for cannot sit atop a shaky foundation. The bigger the tree, the deeper the roots must go. So the silence, though difficult, is divine. It is not a sign of failure. It is an invitation to pause, to trust, and to let life prepare you for the very thing your soul has been asking for. Stay in the stillness long enough and you will realize nothing is being withheld. Everything is being arranged. Sometimes the resistance you feel is not a denial, but a redirection. Life, in its quiet wisdom, often closes doors not because you are unworthy, but because something greater is waiting, and you are being turned toward it. It is easy to become attached to a specific outcome. You pray for one path, you wish for one door, you dream of one solution, and when it doesn't arrive, frustration creeps in, doubt enters, you question your faith. But what if that unanswered prayer was the protection you never saw coming? Not every closed door is a punishment. Some doors are sealed shut because they lead to places that would break you. Places that look beautiful from the outside, but are not meant to hold the weight of your spirit. The delay is not random, it is surgical. The pause is not empty, it is filled with wisdom. You are being positioned, placed not where your impatience wants to be, but where your soul needs to be. And the space between your current self and your future blessing is the very place where your strength is being formed, where your wisdom is being sharpened, where your peace is being tested. Most people want the blessing without the preparation. They want the crown, but not the stillness that molds the head to carry it. But life doesn't work that way. The things that are truly valuable, deep love, meaningful purpose, unshakable peace, they are given to those who are rooted. Those who can stand in the storm without breaking. Those who can sit in silence without losing their balance. So when you feel resistance, pause. Do not force the door open. Do not chase what runs from you. Instead, breathe, watch, listen. Life speaks softly during these moments. If you are still enough, you will notice that what you called rejection was actually redirection. What you called delay was protection. What you called silence was guidance. There is a blessing forming not ahead of you, but for you. One that matches your growth, not your impatience. One that arrives not when you demand it, but when you are ready to receive it with grace. The blessing is not being delayed. You are being refined. There are seasons in your life when you will feel hidden, as if the world has forgotten you, as if your efforts are unnoticed, your prayers unanswered, your potential buried beneath the surface. But just because you are not being seen does not mean you are not being prepared. The seed is never visible when it is becoming something greater. It disappears into the soil. It sits in darkness. It endures pressure, silence, and time. No applause, no recognition, yet something powerful is happening beneath. Roots are forming, strength is building, and when the time is right, not before the seed breaks the surface, and the world sees what was growing all along. Your hidden seasons are sacred. They are not a punishment, they are a process. This is where you learn stillness. This is where you meet yourself without distractions. When no one is watching, you realize what truly drives you. When there is no stage, you discover whether your path is built on ego or essence. Many crave the spotlight, but do not carry the inner stability to stand in it without being blinded. But if you honor your hidden seasons, if you learn to value the silence, then when the light comes, you will not only shine, you will endure. Life is not withholding your blessing, it is shaping you to hold it without breaking. It is carving out the inner space required to sustain what is coming. You are not buried, you are being rooted, and from these roots, a new version of you will rise stronger, calmer, more aligned. Do not rush your unfolding. The deepest transformation often looks like stillness on the outside. But within, your spirit is reorganizing itself. Old fears are loosening their grip. Past wounds are losing their echo, and quiet clarity begins to speak. So when you feel unseen, do not retreat in despair. Instead, lean in. This is the space where your foundation is being poured. This is where you build not for display, but for depth. And when the right moment arrives, not chosen by your desire, but by the wisdom of timing, everything that felt delayed will come together with ease. The ones who last are the ones who honored the hidden, who embraced the darkness not as punishment, but as preparation. And when they rise, they do so not to impress, but to serve, not to be noticed, but to be useful. Trust your process, even the quiet, slow, unseen parts, especially those. There will come a time when the old version of you no longer fits into the new life that is being shaped for you. A time when the comfort of familiarity becomes too small for the growth that is taking place inside. This is when release becomes necessary, not out of bitterness, but from a quiet understanding that to rise, you must shed what no longer serves. Letting go is not weakness, it is the silent strength of alignment. Like the tree that releases its leaves in autumn, not because it has given up, but because it trusts the cycle. It knows that release is what allows renewal. In the same way, there are relationships, mindsets, and habits that once kept you safe but are now limiting your wings. Some people are not meant to walk with you into the next chapter, not because they are bad, but because your paths now teach different lessons. To hold on too tightly is to stay stuck in a season that has already passed. When you cling to what is fading, you block what is forming. There is a heaviness that comes from carrying outdated parts of yourself. The overthinking that once helped you survive now drains your energy. The self-doubt that once kept you cautious now dims your presence. These weights are subtle, but over time they shape your posture toward life. They keep you small, hesitant, and tired. And one day you realize it is not the world that is holding you back, it is the version of you that refuses to evolve. Freedom begins when you allow the old skin to fall away, when you stop performing for people who no longer see you, when you stop repeating patterns that keep you distant from your own peace. This release is not loud. It doesn't need to be announced. It is a quiet decision made in the heart to no longer abandon your truth in order to belong. Letting go is not an event. It is a process. Some days it will feel like progress, other days like grief, but through it all, you are returning to yourself. You are creating space for something deeper, not louder, but truer. The path forward is often narrow, not because you are failing, but because clarity demands simplicity. The more aligned you become, the less you need. The more present you are, the less noise is required. And in that stillness, you begin to see what is meant for you has no competition. It doesn't need to be forced, chased, or convinced. It arrives naturally into the space you cleared. So release, not in fear, but in trust. Trust that what is leaving is making room. Trust that the peace you're moving toward is more valuable than the comfort you're leaving behind. Sometimes the greatest tests are disguised as silence, as waiting, as moments when nothing seems to be happening, yet everything is shifting beneath the surface. When you feel forgotten, delayed, or stuck, know this: these are not signs of punishment. They are signs of preparation. A blessing that arrives too soon can become a burden. It's not only about receiving what you prayed for, but becoming the kind of person who can hold it without breaking. The space between desire and fulfillment is sacred. It's where the shaping takes place. It's where your roots grow deep enough to hold the weight of what's coming. There is a difference between being ready in the eyes of the world and being ready in the eyes of the divine. The world looks at appearances, your achievements, your plans, your confidence. But what is spiritual readiness? It is invisible. It is the humility to wait, the discipline to grow, and the wisdom to not rush what must unfold in its own time. When the timing seems off, when doors remain closed no matter how hard you knock, sit still, not in defeat, but in awareness. Ask not only, why is this not happening, but also, who am I becoming in this pause? The person you are becoming is often the very answer to your prayer. Because a prepared heart can carry blessings with grace, an unprepared heart turns miracles into mess. The soil must be tilled before the seed is planted. If the soil resists, the roots can't go deep. Similarly, if your spirit resists the present, you miss the formation of character. So much of what you call delay is actually protection. You are being hidden so that you can grow without distraction. You are being held back not to be denied, but to be strengthened so that when the door opens, you don't just walk through it, you rise in it. Impatience is a thief. It steals joy from the now and replaces it with a hunger that is never satisfied. Let patience be your anchor. Let stillness be your strength. The ones who wait well receive well because they have learned to become whole in the waiting. They do not rush toward the blessing. They align with it. You are not stuck. You are being shaped. And the very waiting you resent may be the process through which you gain the depth, the peace, and the wisdom to carry what you once thought was impossible. What is yours will arrive not when you demand it, but when you are ready to carry it without losing yourself. What's unfolding around you is not random. The delays, the silence, the quiet shaping, it's all part of something greater preparing to emerge through you. When you choose trust over urgency and presence over frustration, you begin to see the preparation as part of the blessing, not separate from it. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. And when the moment arrives, you will not need to chase what's yours. It will recognize you because you have become ready to carry it.